It's the Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by ANZ Home Loans for financial well-beings.
And welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Breakfast, available of course every morning on iHeartRadio, Spotify and Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts from. The weekend, it has arrived, another Saturday morning. It's been another one of those crazy weeks here, and despite the uncertainty of next month's RBA rate rise decision, there will be people, maybe you today, looking to buy property with a mortgage, biting down on the bullet and getting a foot onto the real estate ladder. And good luck if that is you today. We are catching up with Anthony Landahl because it is a Saturday. He is back with Mortgage Talk this morning. And Anthony, I guess it's going to be a case of navigating selling seasons, and we're going to look at that today. What's your activity been like? Because it seems to be pretty busy out there.
Yeah, g'day, Craig. Great to be here, mate, on another morning in Sydney. So, yeah, we're seeing a pickup in activity, no doubt about it. Part of that's conversations with potential new buyers. Part of it's conversations with people maybe looking at upgrading or making a move. But they are, I guess, looking at spring as potentially the time when stock will pick up and an opportunity will come up. So definitely an uplift in conversations and activity around coming into this spring.
How much do you think has played into the sentiment from these buyers buying now with the last two RBA, let's just pause, let's not move things? Is that playing into the buying decision?
I think that's helped people see that rates might be stabilising, absolutely. It may be there's a little bit more pain on the way with rates, but I think people have seen the worst over. I think people are also seeing that we're probably not going to see that real big drop in the market. In fact, in some areas, the market's back on the move, but there's still value to be caught. So I think people are seeing those sort of factors and going, you know what? Let's start looking at getting into the market. Let's stop looking for a bargain. We don't think the market's going to fully drop. Let's see what we can do.
And we will talk more about mortgages, more about financing, coming up next with Anthony.
Grab your weekly dose of inspiration to help build a real estate portfolio. We talk to the best in the business every day. Learn from the professionals and know your property with us.
Well, Donald J. Trump has voluntarily yesterday checked himself into the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, Georgia. The bail was posted at $312,000. And of course, the mugshot moment, everybody yesterday was wondering, would it happen? And of course it did. And you could tell that Trump obviously put a lot of thought into it in terms of how he would pose for it. He went for that hard-nosed, I'm a tough guy look. And I guess the sideshow for the Americans is going to go on for the next few years with all of these court cases. Hey, don't forget our email address is myrealestatebreakfast@gmail.com, just in case you've got any comments or suggestions. If you are in Hobart this morning having your coffee, I see that the Hobart market is predicted to experience a decline of 3 to 6% by the end of the year, potentially reducing the typical home value by up to $40,000 from the current median of $680,000. PropTrack is predicting for the end of the 2024 year a 1 to 4% decrease in property values, and Hobart's relatively high prices compared to average incomes are a result of demand during the pandemic and buyer fatigue resulting from Hobart's strong market performance from 2015 to 2020 is seen as another reason for the decrease in prices and activity this year. If you're a year older today, let's look at the birthday calls for the 26th day for August. Happy birthday if you are celebrating. Chris Pine is turning 43 and Macaulay Culkin almost the same same age. Not that you would think that, Chris Pine and Macaulay Culkin, but he is turning 42 today.
We dive deep into topics like buying, selling, investing, and maximising your property's value. From mortgage advice to the latest property data and trending numbers, your real estate journey starts here. Get insider tips from industry professionals and level up your real estate game by unlocking the secrets of successful real estate transactions. It's the Main Centre Forecast.
And around the country, let's have a look at it. Firstly, we go to Sydney. Great news. It should be a mainly fine day, a high today of 21. In Melbourne, expect plenty of cloud. It's going to be a grey, cloudy day with 15. Brisbane, beautiful blue skies, lots of sunshine with 27. And in Perth, also a mainly fine day with 23.
Unlock the secrets of real estate and stay informed about the latest real estate buzz with hot market trends, emerging suburbs, and hidden gems.
And it is a Saturday morning across Australia and throughout the country. The housing market traditionally sees peak activity during autumn and spring, marked by increased listings and heightened buyer interest, which is what we were just talking about to Anthony before the break. To position yourself better for a successful purchase, we have got Anthony Landahl back with us. He's the Managing Director and Mortgage Broker of Equilibria Finance to help provide you and I some insights and some guidance this morning. So, Anthony, for novice and experienced buyers, completing a sale agreement takes considerable time and effort. Where should one start this journey?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think that word journey is exactly what buying a property is, whether you're new to the market or looking to upgrade or whatever you're doing in the market, buying an investment property, it is a journey. And the best place to start is understand what you're able to do. And what I mean by that is understand your purchasing capacity, understand how much you can borrow, understand what your repayments are and that you're comfortable with that. Then once you've got a picture of what you're able to do with your financial situation, that's going to give you some guidance around what you can afford, the type of property you're going to be able to buy. Is that something that's going to reach your goals and objectives, whether it's a unit, a house, a family home, or an investment property? So the best place to start is understand your financial situation through a mortgage broker. They'll do the analysis for you based around your income, expenses, assets and liabilities, and then start putting in place the steps to arrange a pre-approval. So if you go to an auction or you find the right property, you're ready to go. You've got your finance pre-approved and arranged up to what a bank is comfortable lending you.
Yeah, and we were talking at the top just how important the sentiment is around with the RBA decision to just pause. So chatter and commentary, I mean, it plays a really big role in what somebody ultimately does when it comes to buying property. So how does a person effectively navigate that information of overload? Because sometimes it's just way too much for them to really process.
Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of noise in the market around the housing market in Australia, and people are forecasting the market will rise. People are forecasting the market will fall. Once people understand what they can do, their purchasing capacity, whether it's $1 million, $2 million, 800,000, they can then start researching the market. There's a lot of data out there now through organisations like CoreLogic, which will provide reports on specific areas, which will provide supports on historical growth rates and regions. Your mortgage broker will be able to provide you with specific property reports. We'll give you some history on that. So stay informed, but make sure you're staying informed with rational data and what's going on in the market, because there's a lot of forecasting out there. There's a lot of talk out there and a lot of noise out there, a lot of which ultimately doesn't come true. So really just understand the market you're looking to buy in through historic data, through property reports, through organisations like CoreLogic.
Yes, so a lot of information is available, freely available. Now, I just want to drill down with you because you have so many of these conversations with your clients. What about real estate agents and, of course, their whole pathway with their interactions with agents and property people? What sort of strategies do you sort of advise when it comes to particularly real estate agents for that smooth navigation through the process?
Yeah, it's a tricky environment navigating with real estate agents. They've obviously got a lot of properties they're trying to sell. They've got a lot of people making offers. One thing to remember is their goal is to get the best price for the vendor. So there's a couple of basic questions that we give some guidance to our clients to ask a real estate agent when you're interested in a property. For example, try and understand the reasons why the vendor might be selling. That might give you some guidance around the negotiation points. Do they want a short or long settlement time? Are they trying to make a quick sale? Is there an opportunity to maybe get a better price for given the reason the vendor might be selling? Get an understanding from the real estate agent how long the property's been on the market. Is the vendor testing the market? Is the asking price too low? Has it been on the market for a lot of days? Has there been other offers? So try and understand how long it's been on the market. Is the property overvalued or undervalued? Has it been mispriced? Try and understand from the real estate agent, are there any known issues with the property, with the land, with neighbours, with building, with defects, with council restrictions? So really try and get a good understanding about the specific property, and also ask the agent about recent sales in the area so you can make some meaningful comparatives. The real estate agent's job is to get the best price for the vendor. As a buyer, it's your obligation to press the real estate agents to answer some of those questions, which will give you some guidance around the type of offer you can make with your price, your settlement terms, with a better understanding of why the vendor's selling and a better understanding of the property in the local market.
Yeah, sure. Well, here we are. We talked about that spring approaching, and you're pretty busy there in the office. What's your assessment of the market's upcoming dynamics? Are there any sort of early indicators emerging for you where we are in the year?
Yeah, spring traditionally and autumn in Australia are our busier selling times. And I think as we head into this spring, we're already starting to see some signals of some stock coming onto the market. A really big challenge recently has been stock on the market, which has essentially been keeping the prices from falling. And it's created some competition in certain areas. So we're definitely seeing an uplift in some activity. And I think that's going to continue in terms of stock coming to the market. From our point of view as well, we're definitely seeing an uplift in activity from people starting to talk about wanting to buy over the next 3 to 6 months. So I think we're going to see maybe not back to the sort of 15-20% uplift we traditionally see in our spring and autumn markets, but I think we're going to come into this spring with a definite uplift in stock and buyer activity, with stability coming through with the RBA rates. People know where they're at a little bit more, understand the rates are stabilising, and there's some stability in the market. It hasn't fully dropped. It's settling down. In fact, there's some growth in some areas. So I think we're going to have a fairly buoyant spring in summary.
Yeah, all right. Well, you were saying just before we got going that you were enjoying your coffee this morning. Is it time to head out the door, grab that surfboard and go for a surf perhaps today?
Saturday is always a good time to do exactly that. A cup of coffee and a surf is a pretty good combination.
All right, so enjoy your weekend. We'll talk again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Craig.
Don't navigate the real estate market alone. Let us help guide you in the world of real estate every day. Make better informed decisions with the latest news and insights.
Well, yeah, it just makes sense. Sydney marketplace, if you look at over many years, the capital growth and the yields in Sydney, if you're holding on to it for longer than 4 to 5 years time frame, you're making some good money on it, and you always will continue to make money in Sydney on the Sydney marketplace. So it's a smart move for them to be making, and what they've seen the statistics, and that's why I truly believe that if you're looking to invest, that Sydney market is the place to be investing.
We connect you to the best real estate information across Australia. The Real Estate Podcast.